Alright guys, welcome back to Lone Wolf Aquatics. Today I'm going to be setting up the 60-gallon breeder in the corner. I used to have this thing set up way back, I don't know, like a year ago or something. But I was like, you know what, I kind of want to set this up again. I want to try some of the stuff I've learned and just really do a really good job with this aquarium. I could have gone to 75, I am allowed to do that. And it would have been like 4 inches taller, I think, for the aquarium that I could have gotten. But I decided since I had the 60-gallon, it was more of a budget option. So that's what I'm going with here, is just a 60-gallon breeder. A little dirty, a little dusty, definitely a lot of scratches up, especially in this part. I think you won't notice them a ton when I have water and everything in there. So that's what we're going to try and do. And yeah, let's get to scaping. We're going to start out with the substrate and go from there. All right, guys, we are going to be mixing up a bunch of old aquarium soil, some mixed aquarium soil and gravel, and then there's also some sand and stuff like that in there, and as well as some gravel. So we're going to be mixing all 3 of these. We're just going to throw them into the tank and mix them into the tank, trying to be wary of, you know, the front glass and all that to not scratch it. And that way we have a super dense, super healthy substrate system for our plants. Alright guys, let me spray off the outside because I did just get some dirt and crap and stuff on that real quick. So I'm just going to spray it off with some distilled water or water with no chlorine in it, because I don't want to leave chlorine down in the substrate system. And then I'll kind of go from there, kind of what I'm envisioning. And then the next step, I kind of want to go over with you guys exactly how I'm going to do it, because I've been noticing something with more professional scaping and I want to give something a try because I'm trying to figure out how they did it. And we'll go from there. So let me spray this down and then we'll walk our way through it. Alright guys, so what my plan here is I've kept it really thin down at the start here at the edge of the aquarium, and then it's probably 4 or 5 inches thick of soil going towards the back. I do want this heavily planted, so that's what we're going to do. Now what I'm trying to do here is create like a little path. I'm going to line this with some rocks and stones, this little path here coming towards the front. So the reason it's not straight, it actually kind of angles back a little bit back into here, and then this part will maybe come forward just a little bit. I don't want it exactly straight, and I want it almost to disappear behind the woodwork. So what we're gonna do is cross some wood over the thing as well as having some come straight out from here and then some just straight out from here. That way it's a really jungly bit. I really want some very like profound pieces, like pieces that are in your face almost. So that way they're big, punchy, and really stick out. And then what I'm gonna do is on this side, it actually goes down quite a bit. So I want to cover that in sand. We're gonna cover the whole thing in sand really, but we're gonna make a nice little path right here. And yeah, we'll go from there. Now the only thing that you may have noticed is that the filter is actually pretty close to the substrate. What we can do is we can actually cut part of that pipe right there if we need to. So yeah, I don't know, we're gonna leave it for right now. And then we're gonna get some rocks in here real quick. All right guys, so something that I've noticed with more professional scapes is that the whole scape just kind of blends in together. Like it looks like the big rocks and the stones and even the larger pieces of wood and even the smaller ones look like they've been in the aquarium for a really long time. So I have gotten these, it's like this black volcanic rock stuff. It's got some white specks on it. There you go. So it's kind of a fun little rock. I've got some pretty big ones. This one is, you know, about as big as my hand. So there's some big ones, and I have some even bigger ones over there. Now I really like this rock because it's got a lot of texture, a lot of character, and it's also just some really cool like river type shapes. So with these ones, when I'm going to be placing these big ones, I want to place them, let me turn you guys around a little bit. So I kind of want to place them like in here, and then in here. The reason being is I kind of want, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape away the soil, and I'll explain what I want in a second. I'll scrape away the soil, put the rocks down, and then just kind of move the soil around it. That way it looks like the rock's been there for a very long time. The sand has kind of moved over it, but it still really pops out and shows that character, as well as that big profound piece and characteristic I'm looking for in this aquarium. Alright, there we go guys, that is the start of it. So I started out by putting this big old flat piece more towards the wall, because what I want to do is branch some of the wood across. And then this one is really, I mean, she's sticking out quite a bit, so she's very profound, you know, but she's also very, if you go back, she looks like she's been in this mound of soil for quite a while. And we'll put other smaller rocks around her and stuff like that, but for right now this is just kind of what I want to do, is just kind of mold the rocks into the soil. And I might even push that one back in just a little bit, but I do want some points that really stick out and just kind of scream at you when you look at it. Now, something I did just realize, guys, is that if I leave this tiny little patch right here, if I leave this tiny little patch right here where it kind of slopes down, and then there's that crack in the side of the aquarium, not in the glass, just between the dirt and the and the glass, but if I leave that section there open like that, it's going to create like kind of a dead zone. So I have two different choices. I can either remove it and completely flatten it out and then leave it so it's curled around just a little bit. I'll still have a dead zone, but that will be a little easier to clean. Or I can just fill it with gravel, you know, because then it's really, you won't really see the mulm and the detritus as much. So I don't want to do that because I'm really not leaning towards the gravel side here. There will be a little bit in the path, but other than that, not really. So I'm gonna kind of fill it in just a little bit, kind of straighten the sand out, and then take some more out of this corner. There will still be sand there and rocks and stuff like that, but that way I don't have a massive dead zone that right as you walk into the aquarium and see into the aquarium room and see the aquarium, it's not just gonna be like, oh, it's all nasty, it's mulm and detritus and yuck, you know? So makes it a little easier to clean, looks a little better in the long run. All right, and right here, we're just gonna cut away a little bit of the soil and just kind of a nice, gradual kind of bend, and then, yeah, we'll get to it. All right, guys, and now we're going to do some of the wood, some of the driftwood. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and drape some across here and then have some of this kind of sticking out. And then so I'll figure out what to do over here. We'll kind of make it up as we go along, but yeah, that's what I want to do. I think it's looking great right now. I think it's got a really good structure. And I'll just let you know, like, if you do not like your aquascape at any point in the process, you can tear it apart and redo it, you know. Just because you've got, hey, maybe half the water in there doesn't mean you have to keep it that way. You can always redo it at any point if you don't like it, and try again, try something new. Who knows, you might actually enjoy it. It changed a little bit.